Hey guys, Sarvis here. This is just going to be a quick video on how I do Proving Grounds. I'm just going to show you how to do wave 1 to 10, and hopefully that'll help you get to wave 30, because I'm going to be showing you some tips that I've picked up by myself. This is probably not the most optimal way to do things. I've not really checked any guides, but this is just how I do it. And doing it this way has got me to wave 45 as of recording, so hopefully you'll learn something, and thanks for watching. Okay, so wave 1, I'll talk about my glyphs and my talents in a little bit, but first of all we're just going to go over this wave. So I'll begin to DPS this Amber Weaver down, and then what I'm going to do next is Heroic Leap onto the rabbits to get some dot damage off, as I'm going to Thunderclap, and then what I'm going to do is drag the orange globe there into the Amber Weaver and start DPSing that, and that'll increase damage by a lot. One of the things you need to worry about as an arms warrior, or as any warrior, is getting to places really quickly. So you need to maximise how many times you use charge and how many times you use Heroic Leap. So what I'm doing here actually is, because when mobs die the wave doesn't end, you don't lose any rage. So what you can actually do is keep the mob alive to continually use Mortal Strike, and that will build up your rage for the next wave. Or you can interrupt the Amber Weaver for 6% extra damage from the glyph Rude Interruption, but I'll talk a bit about that later. Alright, so moving on to wave 2. What you want to do is position yourself roughly where I am, Thunderclap those two mobs to get deep wounds off on them. You want to charge over to the healer, use a trinket to get them down pretty quick, interrupt his cast. The deep wounds will finish him off. Heroic Leap over again, and use the globe that the Amber Weaver just spawned to help kill the Guardian. So as you can see, the Amber Weaver is almost dead, and that's just from Heroic Leap and the deep wounds from Thunderclap, so dots really do help. Again, we're going to put the orange globe into the Guardian there, and that's going to help with the damage, and then we've got plenty of time to kill off the Banshee that's about to come. On to wave 3. Thunderclap and Bleedstorm. Really there's nothing to worry about here on this wave, it's probably the easiest of all 10. As you can see, the rabbits are pretty much almost dead. Charge over to the Banana Tosser and kill him quickly. And then you can Heroic Leap over to the other one and kill him as well. And everyone's pretty much dead already. The AoE for Arms Warrior is just so good. I'll probably keep this rabbit alive, just so I can stay in combat and keep my rage up, and when the timer's almost done, I'll Mortal Strike on him just to get some rage for wave 4. Wave number 4. So what I like to do is when the mobs spawn, I'm going to stand where I am now and Thunderclap so I get the deep wounds on both targets. This Guardian goes down pretty quickly, so what I'm going to do is Heroic Leap over and not waste the globe on that Guardian that was almost dead. I'm going to use it on this Guardian here. And I'm going to charge Thunderclap again on the Amber Weaver just to get damage on multiple targets. Alright, so the Banshee's about to spawn. We're going to go over and kill him quickly. Fortunately the globe doesn't actually hit the Banshee there, but it's fine, we can deal with it. It's funny, the Guardians are all left up. I guess the dots didn't do their job correctly, but that's fine. We're going to go over at the last Guardian and cause a smashing slam. The Amber Weaver's still left up. One thing you can do here is, because the globe's got no one to go on, you can actually keep dragging it about until the next wave, and hopefully you'll be able to splash it on somebody, increase damage in the next wave, wave 5. Unfortunately the big boss there is immune to that globe. We're going to try and finish off this monkey as quick as possible, otherwise it could get a bit rough with the healer over there. We're going to DPS this healer but leave him alive, and the reason we're going to leave him alive is because we want to interrupt him, and that's going to give us 6% increased extra damage from the glyph of Rude Interruption. We're going to DPS the big boss here, and when the healer starts to cast, there you go, interrupt, and back on the big boss. We want to try and pull a rage here for when he goes into his phase where he takes more damage, his shield goes off. We're going to kill this Banshee and not use Colossus Smash, because again we want to keep it for the boss. Mortal Strike on the healer there just to finish him off. Colossus Smash, pop all cooldowns, and pretty much nuke him, and he'll be dead with time to spare. Wave 6 is pretty simple, so I can use this time to discuss my glyphs and talents. I use Glyph of Unending Rage, which is pretty useful because it stops you from capping rage. It increases your rage cap to 120. I also use Glyph of Bull Rush, which increases the rage from charge by 15. And I also use Glyph of Rude Interruption, which increases damage by 6%, which I've already talked about before. My talents are Bloodbath and Bladestorm. I use Bloodbath just because it works nicely with Bladestorm, and it's just better overall, I'd say. Avatar is better for 5 and 10 for the big bosses, but yeah, I just prefer Bloodbath. What I try to do here is just stop DPS, wait till he starts to cast, and then pummel for the 6% increased damage. It wasn't that good, however, as the timer is pretty much the duration of the buff, and when the wave ends, the buff will be gone. I try and do it again, but the mob ends up dying. Next wave. Alright, wave 7. So Bloodbath and Blaze Storm, and try and get as much mobs caught up in that as possible. You want to try and prioritise the monkey because you don't want him annoying you for the rest of the wave. I say this wave could be pretty difficult, but because there's 2 Amber Weavers, there's 2 orange globes, so you can use both of those globes and try and direct it all into the centre, which if you do it correctly doesn't make the wave as hard as it looks, just because there's so many mobs caught up in the orange, the amber thing that increases damage. On a wave 8. Alright, wave 8, this is a pretty interesting wave. So stand there and thunderclap, then you want to Colossus Smash and then open up on the Mystic, interrupt, and then switch to the other Slayer, thunderclap, and then start DPSing on him a bit, so it's about halfway. Then the Banshee's going to come up. Now you want to keep the Mystic alive just so you can refresh your 6% increased damage buff. Start damage on the other Slayer over there. Try and get over and pummel. If you fail, you can always Disrupting Shout. Finish off the other Banshee. I'll probably throw in a thunderclap there just to finish off the other 2. And there you go, finish off the last Banshee, moving on to wave 9. I should have mentioned earlier in the video that I saved the Berserker buff for this wave here and not use it on the wave when it was first available. Ideally I would have used the Berserker buff on the other side and tried to get the Banana Tosser and the Slayer both caught up in it. The Slayer was almost dead there, so I heroic leaped over and then used the globe on that Guardian there. I'm going to do the same with the Slayer. The deep wounds will finish off that Guardian. And we're just going to charge over. The Banshee spawns, so I'll just get that done as quick as possible. And then I'll kill this Amber Weaver. Ready for wave 10. What you can do here again is get a couple mortal strikes in to get your rage up for the final wave, or just interrupt, and that'll give you the 6% damage buff for wave 10. And wave 10. So what you want to do here is basically do your single target rotation. Try and do as much damage as possible while he's in his shield. The thing you want to remember is that you don't want to spend too much rage, and you want to have Colossus Smash up for when he comes out his shield. I believe the Berserker buff is 29 seconds long, that might be wrong though. So when the timer hits 29 seconds you can heroic leap over and get the buff. That'll give you the full duration, because the wave will last that long. So heroic leap over, get a charge in for the extra rage. I screwed up a bit here because my Colossus Smash is on cooldown. I was hoping for a proc, but things went alright. So basically pop all cooldowns, Colossus Smashes up, and spam, slam. And there you have it. Basically if you repeat that again 2 times you'll have your wave 30 achievement. Thanks for watching.